Hello guys, this is Lars, welcome back. We're playing KSP hard mode again, and I'm just waiting for Kerbin and Duna to be in the correct phases, because we're sending some communications equipment out to Duna today. And this is a grand plan. Well, you'll see the result of this plan in the next episode, because we still have some way to go here. And yeah, you can see this monster I'm firing up here. It is a heavy thing, and it's not easy to steer, as you can see. I'm having some trouble just fighting it, and I actually got a bit distracted and staged a bit late. But it seems to be going all right. You can see a lot of wobbling, and as you can see, the payload is huge, like just enormous. And that's because we are bringing with us not one, not two, not three, and not even four, but 5 satellites. And let's see here. We are almost done with the first part of the burn here, and then you'll see the stuff in there. We just need to get up to our apps and have a bit of tea, and then you'll see the stuff. 4 big dish satellites, and 1 satellite with a weird looking thing up front there. That's actually a keythane scanner, because the next mission is a manned mission to Duna, and I'm going to make sure that we'll actually get home. So that's kind of important, to actually get home. Now, you can see me lining up the satellites with or associating them with the the Lunar polar interplanetary rays, or something. Relays, I call them rays. Almost. So yeah, we did hit a bit of a snafu during this mission. You'll see very soon, but you might take a guess if you saw the last episode. And yeah, if you saw it, you'll probably already be thinking right now, what are you doing? Well, this won't end well. And you'll see. So we're getting out there. We are getting an approach almost there, but I think I missed a bit on the face angles again. I think it's closer to 55 than 45 degrees, as it should be. So I think I could have used the flight engineer for this, but for some reason I didn't think of that. Herbal tea. It's good for the throat, and my throat is kind of weird right now. So yeah, I lined up the satellite dishes there. The dishes, and you can see now I'm going to the thing here, to each of the poles, and targeting and activating the 1 dish on each. So we should be good right now. From the moon here, we should be more or less guaranteed to have a connection out to Duna. Right, that's what I was thinking. And then we get out there, and we lose our connection. And I keep going for a bit just to see if it fixes itself. No connection. And this is a problem. And then I start thinking. So I'm heading over to the moon, having a look, and the dish seems a bit small. I kind of messed up when I made that thing. So we have a problem. We need an emergency satellite launched right now. So I try going to the multi-com set. That's the same thing. No luck there. And I had to do an emergency satellite design and launch, just like this. I'm just comparing sizes there. That sounded a bit weird, but yeah, that's what I did. And just putting together a simple satellite here. I like these kind of satellites that look like they have arms. So just put them up there. contact mission relay. Yeah, I called it the contact mission because we're establishing contact with our first planetary body, and I thought it was fitting. So just bunch of electricity here, and we'll just like connect a smaller version of the standard medium launcher that I've used on a couple of more missions, I think. Yeah. So like this, we're good. And let's see. Yeah, I kind of messed one thing up though. I needed the extra large omni antenna and also one small dipole antenna, just to make sure that I reach orbit and still like. Oh, something went wrong there. Yeah, that's right. No biggie. It's just a probe, so we could just do it again. So yeah, as you can see, we're just burning through the solid fuel here, and we have a problem. This seems to be really, really hard to steer. Like, for some reason, it's just not possible to steer this thing. So I had to do several launches. I tried doing an early gravity thingy here, and didn't work out. Did not work out at all. As you can see, I go up a bit further before doing the gravity turn, and it works better. We are on our way up to orbit here, and this thing hopefully will be the thing that makes it possible. Now, one little footnote here. I think I kind of cheated a bit because at this point the contact mission main craft should be lost because, well, targeting from here, it doesn't help that much because we're still so far away from the moon. But I thought that, well, worst case, I'll just push this thing to the moon, just throw it around the poles, and at some point it should align and work, right? Well, as you'll see in a second here, let's just burn this into a higher orbit, and yeah, we don't really need to get too exact here because we're just testing this. And yeah, you can see it out there. Now it should be in contact, right? Yeah, no, it's still too close to the moon. But the thing is, for some reason, I'm still allowed to change that thing, and I think it's a bug. I think I was still in contact, kinda, but it was a bug. It didn't show, and when I changed it, so yeah, I might have cheated. I don't know, but I don't think I did. If somebody has a lot of experience with remote tech, it would be really nice. You can tell me if that was a bug or whatever. I've seen it kind of missing the connections at some point, and it doesn't want to. Right, so we're just trying to fix our orbit here, so we'll actually end up at Duna. I have no luck with my first burns. I never get him. Alright, so, and this is usually my style, just do small incremental improvements on the orbit. Just do one burn, wait a bit, do one more burn, wait a bit, just wait and see, basically. Because, like, setting up multiple nodes, when you do that, if you're just like 1 meter a second off, or maybe half a meter a second off on the first one, the second one will be really inaccurate, and then the third one will be basically useless. So I don't see the point of that. Usually just set up one and do it, and then I'll see how far away we are. So we have to do a pretty big corrective burn here, but as you can see, we have a lot of fuel left. We had almost all of our middle ascent stage left, so the launch we used was way overpowered, and I'm glad that we don't have any costs, because that would be a wasteful mission. As you can see, we have now we actually have a periapse around Duna, and that's good, but I still want to trim it down just a bit. So let's try and get it down and got back up. It's kind of finicky getting that thing to work, but this burn will like reduce it just a bit, just a minuscule amount. We are trying to figure out how to lower this as much as possible. One thing I did not account for was, well, we're going a bit low. That's the problem right now. We are a bit low, and I didn't think of adjusting that. For some reason, I just didn't think of it. So you can see we are actually on the right under Duna and quite far away. I would have liked being a bit closer, but it doesn't matter that we're on the like right under it, because we do want to put the satellites into a kind of a polar orbit anyway. sorry about all the drinking noises, but my voice is a bit off today, so I need some tea just to keep talking, and it would get really boring if I couldn't talk. So yeah, we're just burning and burning and burning and burning and adjusting and burning, and as you can see here, we still have a ton of delta V left. We have like 5,000 at that point, and so like burning off 300, 400, 500 extra somehow, it doesn't matter. So I used the time during the burn to just activate all the antennas and getting everything ready. We are quite far away. We're basically just on the outskirts of the man. We're on the outskirts of the SOI of Duna. As you can see, like 14,000 kilometers. That is far. That is far out, and we are, I think, at least we are almost there. Yeah, we're almost there. Okay, yes, yeah, so we have an apoapse, and the first satellites I want to launch into well, quite high orbit actually. As you can see, we're at 1150, and that is actually a good place to start. So I just lowered my apoapse quite a bit, because of course I don't want the satellites to have to do that themselves. I have basically a much cheaper engine running right now. It's very efficient. Okay, so we set up one relay and detach it and rename it. I think this is the one I called the Kerbal, Duna Kerbal Relal Alpha. Yeah, I meant to rename that at some point. Right, so we circularize and set it up to contact the relay back at Kerbal and unpack all the things here. Then we go back out and back again, and it's time to release another satellite. So this will serve as a complete relay network around Duna. You should be able to stay in contact with the network almost everywhere on the surface, and you will also have contact back to Earth. So this should work fine. Yeah, circularize that. Now we have two of them in orbit, two relays pointed back at Kerbal. And as you can see, we're down there. These are up there now. And then I start thinking, how do we do this? Yeah, now you can see that I have the connection, but it still flashes and says no connection. It seems like a bug, but it might also just be me. And I do actually do one miscalculation here, and I put the satellites here. Charlie, this one actually is so far out that it gets a small pull from Ike a bit later, and I don't really understand what happened when I first see it. You'll see pretty soon. So yeah, we're out of connection. Basically, we have to keep waiting until we're actually we're waiting while the other satellites are trying to keep contact. So, and it seems to be a bit of a bug because this thing is connected, the other one weren't, and they were really close. So I just switched around and we're back and we're connected again. There seems to be a few bugs with the new version of Remotech. This is version 2. Or version 2, Remotech 2, and I played extensively with version 1, and that was pretty stable, but there are some weird bugs with this. Right, so this is the last of the relay satellites. It's spinning and spinning and spinning. Just go around and we go back to this thing again and activate the second one. We basically just point both of them to Duna at this point because we don't care which of the satellites they are actually connected to. And the other are actually directly connected to this, but they'll or the Duna ones, but they'll probably just target Kerbal later on, because as long as it's within the angle, and it should be, as it's quite close to Kerbal, it actually works because it just picks the strongest signal. And this is a more flexible setup. Instead of setting up a ton of relays, you could just have a couple on each side and you don't really need that much redundancy. Which of course is good because, well, less stuff to shoot up. Now, as you can see here, trying to like boost this thing up a bit. I want it in a higher orbit. So yeah, we're increasing the periapse of this, and having it in a higher orbit means more visibility. It's visible for a longer period during the orbital period, and the orbital period itself is longer, so that is really good. Now this is the delta relay, and we'll just increase the periapse or the orbit on that one. We can see the Charlie one is actually now quite weird, right? Well, yeah, it touched Ike, or not touched, but it kind of met with Ike. The same thing that's actually happening here, and that's when I realized that, well, we have a slight problem. We have a slight problem. That is that the outer satellites are actually kind of meeting up with Ike now and then. And so what I decided to do is that Charlie is the long range one, and I just boost it up into a higher orbit way outside Ike. That will give coverage further out, and that's I think that's a good thing. Now we are almost done setting up our network, and that's really sweet. We have one little thing left to do here. That's making this fancy maneuver and getting into orbit around Ike with our original transport ship. 500 meters a second is burned away pretty quickly. Well, when you see it at 4 times speed at least, it wasn't that quick to me. So yeah, as you can see here, we're burning around here and getting around Ike because the scanner is actually on this probe, and I want to scan Ike, and I want to find a place I can start dropping down my refueling pods or probes, and we're trying to get into a polar orbit here, and to make sure that we get good coverage. And yeah, you can see there, I think we're at like 90 degrees, and that's a perfect polar orbit. It's like 0.3 degrees off. We'll just get caught here, and I actually burned a bit early because I didn't want to like get shot back out. So we'll start the scanner, and as you can see, we are picking up some data from the surface here, and we actually found a couple of pieces here. This is the area I think I'll start refueling. There's one other area a bit further east that's a bit better, but we'll see. So I just do some science because, well, we have the science equipment with us, and yeah, we'll see that we don't get that much science, but we get enough actually for one upgrade. And well, I was actually considering taking the probe parts, but Since we have 169 science, we can get one of the tier 5 ones. So we end up taking the docking stuff, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye.